Fuck. I mean heck. I mean fudge.
Alright, and you bastard.
Everybody, heat on! Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! Hit it! Hit it! Hit it!
He's about to. He's done. He's dead.
Hello, welcome to Metaverse Degen. I'm Lion.
I'm Oman Raptor, and I got my coffee, and we got a good guest here that's oh God, I'm gonna fuck this. And that is Jesus fucking Christ. Mom, help me.
It's okay, Raptor. Would
Oh,
you
God.
would you like to try again for
Yeah.
a second time?
No, just run the bitch,
Okay.
not you. The camera.
Damn. Okay, Raptor.
I don't want to get in trouble for calling it the wrong thing, you know. Women probably kick my ass from here to the fucking seaboard, and it ain't that far. It's just right
I
out
mean,
the
I
window.
do have a knife right there. I can probably, like.
Hey, if
Your
you're
fur,
gonna
maybe.
do it right, you don't use the knife. You use the frying pan, then you say it's all dead. Like
Oh yeah,
beating a rat in the
frying
yard.
pan smash you down.
Yeah, and then you skin it because I am a fox, and then go, wow, look what's on the menu.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm a wolf, right? So like.
Nah, you got it. But our guest is, we better keep going where we're going with this before we get sidetracked. My God.
Hi, I'm the guest.
I am the guest. Oh my God! Wow, guest, it's nice having you here today.
Yeah, right.
Great to see you. Oh boy.
You're the first one we ever had whose name was Guest.
Yeah.
All right, jokes aside. Hello, I'm Euky. I'm the community ambassador and also leadership of the community Kocho No Yakuza, which is an RP community within the vrchatworlds, and as well a team lead at pjkt. If you don't know pjkt, you better know it. You better search it up.
Oh. Yep, go in the description, look for pjkt, and then what you do from there is you go search for that while listening to this video. If you're driving, then don't do that.
Absolutely.
So, how did you get into VR and involved with pjkt and Kocho No Yakuza? How did you get started with everything?
Do you want me to go absolutely from the beginning overall? How did I get to VRChat?
Yes.
Fine. Honestly, I want to say before I start that I was brainstorming really hard. After watching few of your videos, I was really wondering, how am I gonna say this? What am I gonna say? And I was like remembering my background, right? It's in the end, it's 4 years ago. My memory is pretty bad, so I needed to think about it. But if I do remember it right, back in the 2018 craze of Ugandan knuckles, I did see it, but I never believed that I could go to VRChat without having VR. So I was 2 years basically underneath a rock because I never thought that you can go to VRChat without VR, and I basically kept following VRChat from behind the screen of like YouTubers and so videos, right? And I remember, for example, specifically seeing a video back then that really caught my mind, which was, I don't know if you guys know it or not, there was a video of one YouTuber who had a friend on VRChat who was mute. And she decided to speak for the first time after a lot of vocal therapy and so on. So, and that caught my mind back then, but I still wasn't sure whether I can go to VRChat, right? But in 2020, COVID hit. I started watching this YouTuber called Ikena, which is basically dude learns a lot of languages. Right, he knows shit ton of languages, and he went to VRChat and was basically talking to people, trolling people with languages and so on, going to like, I don't know, a Korean world, speaking Korean, but then he said like he was from New York, I believe, or something. and so on and so on. And that's where I noticed there are desktop people. I can go to VRChat without VR. Hello. So I did, and my first idea of why I even got to VRChat was to learn languages, actually.
Oh, really?
So, it's actually how I actively started learning Korean. I've been learning Korean for years even before that, but basically because of VRChat, I was actively learning Korean, found a lot of like Korean friends, a lot of Korean communities that I still talk to up to this day, and that's how I started. Found a lot of friends during summer and so on, COVID, you know, everything was going on, everyone was quarantined and so on. But then after school started, everyone left again. So I left as well and came back in next year on my birthday. So March 2021 is the day where I actually started being on VR properly, well, desktop VR. And that's when I first interacted with, I suppose, RP communities, because I found LPD. But they never took me in. I applied, but they never took me in. Sadness. So it's actually, yeah, I was hanging out all together just like for a whole year. And in 2022, I got myself my first VR headset, Quest 2. And because LPD didn't take me in back then, and so on, I was kind of role-playing, instigating against LPD, and I was going around basically in avatars with guns and so on. I was going in Great Pug with friends and just like waiting for LPD to go there just to shoot them down and everything because I really wanted to get arrested. I never got arrested because of that. It makes me sad up to this day. But because of that, I met this person, Ginger T. I met him, and he invited me to this community called the Mortesian Syndicate. Basically, mafia. And he was like baiting me in like, oh yeah, we're technically against LPD, right? We're criminals, so that makes sense. So he invited me in. Back then, we didn't even know that we're both from the same country. We pretty much just hung out that day until we found out that we're both from the same country, being all crazy about it because we've never met anyone normal from the same country on VRChat. And I was in Mortesian Syndicate until Ginger, out of nowhere, came with the idea that he's going and creating his new community, his own, Kocho No Yakuza. So he invited me there, and pretty much what happened was that I was there since the beginning of the server, pretty much. I was there like maybe 2 weeks of the server, even before the community was officially opened. And with several other people, we were just hanging out until the community officially opened, and we applied. And you can pretty much say that I'm one of the senior people of the community because I've been there ever since. Then I worked myself from being a simple member into now being leadership of the whole community. Plus dating Ginger T as a side note as well, living with him, which thankfully he's not here right now, so I can speak freely. Now about pjkt though.
The saying sows is once the cat is out, the mice must play. Is what you're trying
Exactly.
to say.
And he is a ginger cat, right? He is a ginger cat on VRChat. Makes sense.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
Now, for the pjkt part, so Ginger used to be part of VRCon, and I was actually invited over as well to help out in VRCon, especially in events team to some degree. We were kind of like gonna be quote unquote administration, just trying to get like communication flowing between hosts and so on. But sadly that never worked out, and that happened. We kind of forgot about VRCon afterwards because we never afterwards, progressed with it. And I found out later on pretty much that pjkt was a thing. I saw many people from allied communities being there and so on, and I kept like telling myself like I want to go there. I was supposed to help at VRCon. I want to go there. But what can I offer them? And the only thing that I do is media. I'm actually the lead of media team over at Kocho No Yakuza, right? I'm the one behind the Twitter and whatsoever, directing videos, editing videos, trailers, you name it. So I kept thinking media. But funny enough, I never had a portfolio. And that kept me away from applying. Until I met Chris Kenny, who is now the director of pjkt, right? He's the director of community relations. And he pushed me to put my stuff into a Google document and send it in as a portfolio. And guess what? Now I'm a team lead.
Wow.
So I guess that happened.
Wow.
That's nuts.
You sound like a very busy bee.
I'm not going to lie to you. I am currently falling behind a deadline, yes.
Oh no. Well,
Lion, see what
do quite a lot, yeah.
See what happens when the cat's out. See what happens. Yeah, she gets behind. Yeah.
I am watching you. I am watching you.
Is my suit out of place? I don't know what she's looking
Raptor,
at.
you're just wearing a jacket. What suit?
Fuck, I forgot my pants. Fuck, too early in the morning to put them on now. Shit,
did you
nobody
wear
told me I didn't have
pants?
pants.
You never wore pants.
I'm wearing pants now? Oh, you're talking my avatar. I was talking in real life. Yeah, I got my pants on now. I need more coffee, man. Man, I'm confused. Man, I don't know. I need to put stronger coffee in. That's it. Okay, back to you.
Well,
Sorry, not to cause problems.
I
Get a
can
little
totally
sidetracked
relate to that.
So I have a question for you, actually. What kind of roleplay is Kocho No Yakuza, and what were the earliest events like?
Oh, earliest. Oh my God. I need to rewind my memory back to 3 years ago now.
Would you
So
quit picking on the poor person? Jesus Christ, she's gonna be lost, man. Make them simpler.
I'm not trying to make her
hell you
lost. I'm just
doing?
asking questions. That's kind of our thing.
I know. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
now
Sorry.
I'm gonna ask you the questions.
I didn't do
Oh,
it.
fuck, we're getting interrogated. We're getting down. Fuck, I'm screwed. I'm fucking screwed. I'll be here for hours. Hope you have plenty of time. It's gonna make you late.
I mean, I do. It's 4 p.m. for me, darling. I have as much time as you want.
Screwed. Back to your question. Sorry.
All right.
Look, I'm being a dick.
So-
I'm being too much of an ass this morning. Go ahead.
Oh, you're completely fine. I don't mind it. So let's see. During the early days of Kocho, we kept saying that we're a very light-hearted community. What that means is that our roleplay was not as serious as you would think. We had a lot of goofy stuff going on. By that, I quite can tell you, for example, let's say you're in the clan and a fixer gives you a job. Like, as if you would imagine a fixer from Cyberpunk, someone that just gives you a job, right? And we have that same type of thing going on. And one of our fixers is Valuigi.
Interesting.
So,
Wow. Okay.
that type of goofy stuff. I can probably say. We still have these goofy moments as well. For example, just yesterday we had all Max Payne references in an event. the whole gameplay of Max Payne. There was literally the model of Max Payne going on, like someone was role playing as that. We had the soundtrack playing in our heads as Max Payne and so on. There's more goofy stuff. As I told you guys in the background, this world where we are right now is our orphanage, right? And what I do here, I host events where I do an NPC call an hour before the actual event to gather my NPCs who are going to play children, literal like children characters. And I give them complete free reign over what they want to do. Meaning, I give them the idea of what the event is gonna be. Like, let's say, the kids are gonna go camping, right? So I'm gonna tell them like, oh yeah, we're gonna be here, a little bit of social RP, and we're gonna take the kids out and play hide and seek or something. And I don't basically control whatever the kids do. I just completely leave them be, do whatever bullshittery they want to do, right? So we have a character and a child that is literally called Lean Child. She is addicted to lean, and she runs around with knives. She's completely addicted to like having knives and everything, and she's the biggest crackhead as a child. Then there's another child that we have, Poo Poo, who constantly does backflips. Imagine like a little kid, literally a little kid, a child. She's a detective as if, and whenever she thinks, she does a backflip, and she does backflips off the walls here and everything and all that stuff. So like, to a certain degree, sometimes we're really not a serious RP community at all, but sometimes we are a lot serious, especially in the basically. Now that we're 3 years old, the first year was more goofy stuff. The other years, we started to get more serious by time as we're growing as well. So, don't frame me for war crimes here, but what we did few days ago, like 2 weeks ago on an event, quite literally 2 weeks ago or a week ago, 1 week ago on an event, we had a lot of player character deaths. So basically our characters that we made died. Meanwhile, people were watching and fighting. Basically, there was a whole ass like fight going on, a raid basically on us that we didn't expect. A lot of our characters died. It was planned, but yeah, they died. And then we took a bomb and went to bomb down a wall building to basically say that now we're going to war.
Oh, wow.
So even stuff like this can happen in our community. So whatever Raptor kind of experienced as well in the Kocho No Bossrush on pjkt, that was somewhat serious because it's somewhat what we actually do sometimes. But at the same time, it had the whole goofy aspect of the boss being a literal Roomba.
Oh.
So yeah, like
it was great. I wish I could have just played myself. I could have beat the shit out of Nova's kneecaps.
Kneecaps? You mean his ankles?
Well, that too. I could have worked up and climbed, worked up there, start from the top and work down, that kind of deal. Shortened him down a little bit. I got a question for you. What's the weird? And I ask this to everybody in here. What's the weirdest thing you ever seen in VR before you got started?
Weirdest thing I've ever seen in VR. I know a lot of people would probably say like ERP or something. The first thing that comes into my head really is I was in a great pug. It was like years ago. I don't remember when this was. I was like relatively new. I wasn't even role-playing back then, I think. And I was even streaming this on Twitch back then. Great pug. Imagine big-ass Carnage from Venom. Carnage like the character from Venom. using voice mod as well. And there was this other person in a tinier avatar who was like really annoying that Carnage. Like constantly repeating words and so on. I have it as a clip on my Twitch as well. And that Carnage just decided to kick the fuck out of that person and then jump on them and everything and like, smash them to the ground. And like, I don't know why, but because I was new to VRChat relatively and I didn't know roleplay and so on, I just didn't know what the fuck happened in front of me.
I will
Wow.
say that is
Yeah.
that is the tamest thing we've heard on this so far, among the tamest.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the very tamest.
I listen, for the 4 years I'm on VRChat, I moved around in public only for about like a year and a half. Year and a half really. So or like 2020, like imagine about March till like September I was on VRChat and I was pretty much just hanging around with public but with my friends. And then I stopped, and March 2021 until June 2021 is where I was again in public, and then I completely isolated myself to RP communities. I don't go to public anymore. So pjkt is quite literally the most public I go in recent times.
Oh wow. That's very fair. I know a lot of VRChat players who do a similar thing where they kind of retract to more private lobbies after they find themselves a friend group and people to hang with. It's a very common thing to do. By tamest, I mean we usually hear, "Oh, I saw a hot dog and a hamburger go at it in a bathroom stall of a rave club." That's a me by tame.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I think I figured out why she doesn't go very few places and stuff like that.
Why
Her
is that?
significant other doesn't let her out.
No.
I mean, considering the amount of how unhinged the RP communities are as well, they're unhinged but good unhinged, right? So we have a lot of fun together, we do a lot of bullshit together, but it's not like something you would find weird. It's pretty much just a close group of friends doing like having fun, right? So like I isolate myself to these groups because we have something in common, right? We are all role players. We hang around basically more than just events like we meet on the RP, but we hang around in Discord as well. So instead of being in public on VRChat, I hang around with them on Discord. We constantly have group calls together on our Discord server. We work together on our avatars. We have like 3 Blender and Unity channels where people can just go and, talk with someone while they work on their avatars, help someone else, teach someone else, all this and that. I have taught so many people Blender and Unity, like just because of that, right? So basically, the way I don't go to VRChat public, I spend my time in the Discord instead.
I gotta ask this.
Oh no.
How's it feel just by a little fox right here just interrogated you and you're in the mafia?
I'm gonna pull out the gun now.
Yeah, that answered my question. That was good enough right there.
Sadly, I don't have a gun in this avatar.
Did it look like she thought she was on the spot? No light or anything. No bright lights in her face. But didn't you feel like you were just on the spot, being interrogated? No.
No, I'm quite used to it.
Nah. No.
Besides that, Raptor, I'm a role player, right? You think a little fox like this is gonna intimidate me?
Now she's getting cocky. Here it comes. Yeah.
Raptor,
I'm not a role player.
I'm sorry, but I'm to the side
What?
with Yuki a little bit here. It's kind of hard to be intimidated of something that's a fox the size of a hamster who looks like he can fit inside an aquarium.
That is absolutely
Okay.
true. I gotta give you that.
Okay, I'm not going to say any more. I was going to go somewhere with this and just left it alone. And okay,
You know,
going to
Aw.
open up a can of worms. I was going to open a big can of worms and get my ass kicked, just like I did when I was playing, when I went and role played on it. That was fun. I agree with you with the setup, but the question I want to really ask is who comes up with the ideas into the role playing setup that you guys worked up, knowing that when I was there during where we were learning how to fight and everything else like this, that had to take a lot. The category out like you guys could. I didn't even have to be involved. Don't get me wrong. I got lost in the map. Nothing new, but I was full size, so don't get that crap. But just by watching, standing back, if you just stood back and watched what you guys were doing, that took a lot to play out. Who comes up with these ideas?
I can tell you as much that the whole pjkt event, everything was underneath me. It's just the execution that others helped with, but everything was underneath me, and it's pretty much like we have a whole dedicated team. So I'm a Shategashira. We have how many? 5 Shategashiras, I believe, plus a second in command and the in command, right? We are the leadership of the whole community, and then we have a whole lower staff team as well, who also help with coming up with ideas, helping us develop things, systems, I don't know, pretty much anything like this, whatever you can imagine of the community running, we all do, right? And these events, basically imagine leadership coming up with a whole season, like a campaign. We call it seasons, but it's a campaign, right? We end up with like let's say a storyline that goes pretty much something like the beginning, what's gonna happen in the middle, and what's gonna happen at the end. We have all this set up, and then the rest, like for example, the lower staff or our dedicated events team, come up with everything else that's in between of those like markers that we set, right? And big events like these, the pjkt ones, for example, both the Bossrush from the year 1 or the year 2, the initial idea I have to give to one of our lower staff members. It was Suklo, who basically gave me that idea, and I was the one who executed it. And that goes pretty much to other stuff as well, like where the ideas are just like kind of brought in, and depending on whether it fits or not, we just execute it and like develop it more. So it's like whole like staff kind of effort. It's not really like a one person only always.
Okay, I got you.
You know, I have a question for you now based upon your campaigns and lore events. What has happened in your storyline so far, and what are some events that Kocho as a community remembers more than anything? Could be funny lore events or anything like that. What has stuck with the community?
Okay, so as a person who is in the community since the beginning, and some more people as well who have been there since the beginning, we obviously are stuck with more memories of the older events as well that newer people don't know anymore, which is a little bit sad, but well, it just goes like that. So one of the most memorable things, basically, we have like seasons. We're currently in season 8, I believe. The campaign is season 8. Our campaigns, or seasons as we call them, usually last around like 2 months, let's say. And they always have exactly what I said, the markers, right? The start, middle, finish. And with so what I can say really stuck with me still is season 2, which was one of our members got kidnapped, and we had a wall fight where my character, Euky, got told by a higher up that there's this company
Mm.
that basically kidnapped our leader as well, because our leader disappeared randomly. And then that other dude who got kidnapped appeared there as a boss fight. And we were fighting all that. Some goofiness happened as well, where one of our other characters freaking shot an RPG inside of a building without clearing for backblast. Like, that happens there.
Wow.
So like that event is one of the most memorable ones for me. Then there was robot uprising, which was also very, very big for us, where basically every single robot and android were involved in this uprising, where robots were trying to gain sentience, or they gained sentience, and they pretty much were going against humans because they wanted their own rights.
Hmm.
And that was a whole boss fight as well. Last year we had Framed Wings, which I ended up as a second in command of the whole community, both out of character and in character. Where our leader, he went on LOA out of character. So we basically stepped up with the ladder. I ended up as a second in command, and we had a whole in character season going on where in character the leader actually got sent to prison. So we had to get her out of prison. And that was a whole series of events that were led by me pretty much. And I still remember the courtroom. Basically, like the last season event was a courtroom where we got our leader out of jail pretty much, with a whole set of clan members who were like representing her. And we had someone who we would never expect that person to ever be like good to be like an attorney, and he carried the whole thing. But when I remember that person, I cannot believe that he did that, because, for example, my character has an interaction with him where he sneezed into my nail, so I beat him up because of that. Nail.
Remind me never to join the clan that piss you off. I'll be the first one to go be fucking hanging on the walls as stuffed animal.
I mean, I have a wall as like bat with barbed wire on my back whenever I go onto a mission. I don't think you want to piss me off.
My Christ. I got a question for you. In the process of talking about roles and stuff like this, what's it take once you start? What is the procedure of starting as just like me? If I walked in and asked to join, so other people would know, what procedure does it take to get in, and go up?
Okay. So when you get into our Discord, you start as a civilian. You pretty much are not a member of the community just yet. You are a civilian. You can hang around with us. And then there is a form you gotta fill to apply, right? So you apply with that, and unless there are some big red flags, you're likely to get accepted. We have some set of rules, but we are not necessarily like picky, like, I don't like his name, like he's not gonna get in. No, like we like you're likely to get in. I cannot guarantee you, but likely. And if you do get in, you start as a role called Chinpira, which in Japanese quite literally means a punk. So you start as a punk, right? And you get assigned a mentor who is going to stay with you, answer all your questions, help you with events, and so on, until you get to the rank of Kobun, which you get to rank of Kobun when you attended 4 events. So it takes you 4 events to actually become like more of a legitimate person in the community. Now, as a Chimpera, you can be a Chimpera and you can already have establish your own character. You can already establish your own avatar. You'd need to go through approval stuff, but as a chimpera, you are not limited with that. You can immediately go have your own avatar, immediately go have your own character. Though we do have set of our own community avatars that we made to provide you if you don't have your own or cannot get yourself your own. Now, with that, I want to also mention we are not a VR only community. We accept desktop people as well, because our avatars, some of them are actually desktop compatible. So with you know how you can do on desktop the Shift F2, for example, to make a fist and so on?
Yeah.
Our avatars are either controlled by that or by radial menus when you press R on your keyboard. We basically have made our avatars compatible to that way where even if you don't have your own hands, you can still punch people, fight with knife or so on. Right, so that's why I want to mention that even desktop people have their own place here. One of our members, founding member actually, is a desktop master who created the craziest stuff I have ever seen, honestly, for a desktop person. But to get back at the question, right? You become a kobun by attending 4 events. Then you are now free of a mentor. You don't have a mentor anymore, or basically officially you don't have a mentor anymore, but you can still ask whoever you want any questions. And you are able to join a family. Now, as a Yakuza clan, if you ever played Yakuza 0 at least, you know that there is a clan who has a lot of families underneath. Those families are as if it's the same community, it works the same, it's just you now have like a specific set of higher-ups, let's say. So I, for example, I'm the matriarch of the Aomi family, because my in-character name is Aomi Yuki, so Aomi family. And there is another set of basically 5 families. There are 4 main ones, 5 and 5th one is a subfamily of one of the main ones. And you can choose which one you want to go to, and that family can provide you even more events than the main ones that we do as a whole community. Now, if you prove yourself to be active, together with both the family and the whole community events, you can climb up to a rank of a shate. That pretty much means active role player, like so on. It's in Japanese, it's kind of an equivalent to like a soldier. So, but pretty much you're an active role player, and now you have a choice. You can or don't have to go even higher. From a shate, you can apply to go through a specific training with the higher ups called Kyore training. And if you go through the training, you will become an experienced role player who the staff will rely upon on events, for example, to lead people. So as a Kyore, you're gonna be the one who's gonna, let's say, tell people what to do. You're gonna organize people. If you find someone that doesn't have anything to do or is like seems like they're bored or something, you as a Kyore, you have the responsibility to go up to them and do something to entertain them, to basically put them in together as well. And not only that, it's pretty much the people that lead the events, like lead the group of events if a higher up is not there. And that is the last non-staff rank, pretty much. It's kind of a little bit borderline-ish, because we teach you a lot of like the actual Yakuza stuff, how it actually works and so on. And we a little bit rely on you, but it's not staff. Now, the staff ones are application-based as well as the Kyodai, pretty much. So lower staff, Hombucho, which help us pretty much develop the community as well, execute stuff and so on. Not moderation, but executing stuff. Let's say character approvals, weapon approvals, this type of stuff. And after that, there's Shategashira, who are the leadership. And Shategashira is the highest one you can pretty much go to, unless either of the leadership steps down. Like, by that I mean Kaicho and the Wakagashira, but that's unlikely. So Shategashira is pretty much the highest rank you can get to.
Okay.
And by that point, you are a leadership and you pretty much run the community and you make sure everything is okay.
Okay. So I have a
Okay,
question for you
gotcha.
based on some things you said during that. You mentioned that within your community there are different families to fall under. What are the families and how do they interact with campaigns and stories? Because I'm kind of curious how, like, how within like the overarching campaign, is it a like segmental based where it's like this is one story, that's another story, and how do the families fit into them? Whoa, what are you doing here? This is wild.
What are you doing here?
I was here to remind these guys of something. What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you going to remind them about, Lion? I wanted to remind them about something too.
By the way, did you have fun at pjkt or VCAT this year? Is there another convention that you're looking forward, but it's kind of not the season? Well, there's one coming up for Halloween that would be definitely down your alley if you're into spooky, scary stuff as well, which is HorrorCon, which is October 26th and 27th this year. So you should definitely go. See booze, people make stuff here in VR. Lots of crazy stuff for you to go check out.
There's also going to be DJs as well as many different worlds and events, from panels to amazing things along the way. You'll have to check it out. It is a 2-day event, like Lion said, October 26th and 27th. Make sure to be there. Go down in the description, discord.gg/pjkt, and also HorrorCon's Discord will also be down there as well. Go check it out. It'll be an amazing time. You'll probably see us there. There's a lot of amazing people, from horror creators to world creators of the horror genre, all sorts of stuff. You don't want to miss it.
Not at all. Go down the description. Everything you need to know to find out where to go to attend is right down below in the Hoobly What's the Thingy down there. So sorry to interrupt your current viewing pleasure. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of whoever the guest is at this moment. I don't know who it is.
There's a lot. There's going to be a lot. We'll see you at HorrorCon. Woo!
See you at HorrorCon.
That's actually nice timing that we have this podcast right today, because we exactly did something like that in the past week, because our campaign started a week ago, quite literally, our newest one, and that one it's a gang war. Right, so we're currently in a war against other Yakuza clans. We're currently trying to conquer the wall city that we're based in. And so the families, they have their own stuff going on, because each family is focused on something else. Like, for example, my family is a lot about information dealing. Right, so I have, in character, I have cameras placed all over the city, so I see what's going on, and I can find information, right? And I, for example, can sell it to someone else in a different family who needs that information. There are other families who are more for weapons. Someone is for, someone for some reason has a helicopter. There's a media-related family who just wanna do media stuff, and all of their things, they pretty much have their own things going on. They have their own events. But in the current campaign, what we're doing is that these families, each of them had a specific event for them going on, basically like a little story that tied to the whole season, because gang war, the whole raid happened. So for my family, for example, that event happened literally yesterday. During the raid, one of my as if NPC goons got killed, right? And because they in character killed my family member, I went to find those people, and, well, eye for an eye, right? So my family event was quite literally finding who killed my person to do some harm to them as well.
Hmm.
Right, and each of these families have their own things going on as well. I don't remember what was exactly some of those, but I know that one family was like moving weapons, basically trying to gain weapons, so we have even more weapons to begin with. So that event was all about just taking cars, getting weapons, fighting off thugs, and yeah, now we have more weapons. So pretty much, even though the families have their different sets of goals and different little stories, we still tie them to the main campaign as well.
Hmm. Okay. So, with your campaign, is there an overarching story over everything, or does each campaign its own story within the history of Kocho?
You mean by that you mean like right now what's going on?
Well, like across all the campaigns, all 8, are they all connected in some way, like a linear story, or are they like campaign 1 is campaign 1 and 2 is 2 and they're not connected? Kind of more like the Simpsons episodes and less Adventure Time.
To a certain degree, they are connected, but some of them are not.
Hmm.
So, to some of them, we still reference what happened, but in some of them, they are just completely something else. Like, for example, the framed wings, the one where our leader got, into prison. I believe that one was pretty much like out of nowhere. We did a little bit of foreshadowing, but it wasn't connected to anything. Now, because of what happened with framed wings, a different campaign happened earlier this year, which was rogue shipping, which we had like dealing with Americans, like company of some sorts, pretty much made up names and whatsoever. But in the end, it looked like it was not connected. But in the end, they got killed by the same people who framed our leader to go to prison. Right? So there are small details that connect it. And now that rogue shipping, that whole thing, like that enemy Yakuza clan, which was behind the wall prison, killed this American company. Now it's branching out to this current season where all the enemy Yakuzas that we are dealing against are now against us completely and fighting against us, right? So it's not direct, it's not directly lined up at all, but there are details that connect together when you figure it out. So it's like puzzle pieces to a certain degree.
That's interesting. Now I'm gonna ask something for
Got
more of
another
a.
question.
Oh, you first. I'll ask mine next.
Okay. With the campaigns and stuff like this, how much do you involve like the LPD and other gaming platforms besides your own to mix in with it to make it more authentic? Do you guys do that kind of stuff?
Other communities, by that you mean?
Yeah, like the LPD, where you add see what I'm getting at, where it adds more to the storyline. And the role playing, you ask them, hey, we need a little bit of yours assistance type deal. You guys do that and add other communities besides the ones you've got in your setup to join you or not?
So we don't usually do that actually. We don't. For example, with LPD, we haven't really worked with closely on like a campaign like this. But we had cameos of, for example, the Mortesian Kingdom in the previous season, the season of rogue shipping, which happened earlier this year. We had an event where some people of the Mortesian Kingdom, actually, we took them and they played like a police force. We basically gave them like avatar stuff and so on. They made their own avatars. And they were representing as if Tokyo PD, right, the Tokyo Police Department, but as their own characters from what they play in Mortesian Kingdom. So we do a little bit of collab like this, but we need to adjust it a lot to our own stuff because we are closed off. We are not really metaversal, so you cannot go to us with suddenly you're like full, like, I don't know, a fairy or something. Like, you cannot really do that. So we need to adjust it like this. And we found this little, like, in between where they were their own characters, but as if in our timeline as police officers. And even before that, ages ago, when the uprising was starting, where we had a raid of robots go into purgatory to our main world, we actually had waifuware over at that time. So while waifuware was over and basically just enjoying their time, there was a raid of robots. So waifuware was the one community that, as if quote unquote, helped us fight them off. So sometimes we did collabs like this to a certain degree. But if we do collabs, we usually keep it outside of the main stories like this.
Okay, I got
There
you.
is a thing we host once a month called Purgatory Social RP. And that Purgatory Social RP happens in our main world. And it's pretty much as if we open our businesses and people can go there, I don't know, like a bar, sushi place or something like that, and they can just socialize there. And we open those lobbies to Metaverse as well. So even people from other communities can join in. Under our rules,
Okay.
but they can join in. So that's kind of
Okay.
like the main thing how we like kind of get other people to join as well.
Hmm.
I got you. Okay.
Okay. Since we're talking story elements, was there in previous campaigns, none that are connected now, were there any details missed by the community that was written in? Like, for example, the connections between the courtroom and then what's going on now.
In the Framed Wings season, we were foreshadowing it a tiny bit before it actually happened. So we release a community newsletter, right? Which is an out of character, just community newsletter of what happened, what's going on, any news and so on. But we put in a little bit of a thing as if the community newsletter got hacked into and basically like got corrupted. And that corruption was saying this certain text. And that certain text was as well in the trailer for the Framed Wings. It just was being talked loud out. So during the trailer, there's a voiceover saying exactly what was written in that text. And I don't believe, apart from the higher staff, I don't believe anyone knows what that text means still. Up to this point, I don't believe they know.
Oh, wow. Could you let us know what it means, or is this you're waiting for people to find out to reveal it?
So I will read you out the text, okay? I'm gonna
Okay.
find it. I'm gonna read it out for you.
Ah.
Let's see if I can find it, that is.
Hmm.
Uh,
I tend to find red tape.
Meanwhile, huh?
I tend to find red tape, don't I?
Oh my god, where is it? Community newsletter. Now, which one was it then? Fifth one, maybe? Oh, I'm lagging. Community newsletter. Oh my god, I have so many files you guys don't even believe. I recently found out that my avatar project was 40 gigs. Like,
Holy balls.
like, I have so many things. Community. Freak, I cannot spell community. News.
Mm.
You and your
If you have
hard
anything you
fucking
want to ask me
questions.
while I'm trying to find this.
Oh. Sorry if I found.
I got one.
Shoot.
I got one. So what's it like to
Yeah.
date the boss?
Oh, very interesting. I have
Hey, you didn't ever get to date the boss.
so
Come on.
funny enough, it's the whole thing of how we started dating is kind of funny to me still. I was friend zoned by him 3 times, Raptor, actually.
Wow, she's picky. She's go, nah, I gotta let you go. I'll let you back in. No, I'll let you go. Okay, the third time's a charm, you asshole. Get in here.
I got friend zoned by him quite a bunch. But what happened was it was impulsive. So I broke up with my boyfriend at the time, and it was basically before February 14th. It was February 12th. And that day when I broke up with my ex, I went to VRChat, or not VRChat, Unity. I put a board on my avatar that said, "Will you be my Valentine?" And I went up to front to him while he was trying to talk with like other people, like different communities and so on. And I legit like pulled out the board, like, "Will you be my Valentine?" And so he was my Valentine, right? And he wanted to send me stuff through postal service. And I didn't let him. I told him, "How about you come give me chocolate IRL?" So he did, and that day we started dating.
Aw.
So
Well, that was
It
cool
was-
of him.
you can say he was like kind of hesitant to date me because of being a leader, right? And back before I actually got to be the position in the community I am right now, he kind of grilled me on a stress test before, basically like what would happen if we like broke up and so on, right? He was harsh, but hey, here I am. I live with him. He's right there. And
Well, you're
like-
not that harsh.
we were, I don't know, we're dating now for over 2 years, actually. It's 2 years and 9
Congratulations.
months, and it's been
Congrats.
fun. It's been fun, right? And honestly, the fact that we are dating and we're both like staff of the community, right? It helped us a lot because he's having, for example, ADHD issues. So I'm there to tell him like, "Hey, you forgot this. Hey, can we work on this? Can we do that?" So a lot in our free times, we still talk about the community and like trying to, develop something or so. But
Wow.
I
And
have
they
found the
never
text.
they never say women are there for what they are besides what they're not supposed to, and people do not see the fine print. Sounds like he's found the small fine print.
All right, so Lion, I found the text.
Hmm.
If you have received this message, then it means I am no longer here. That is actually a different character, like that was pretty much telling us that message, right? So it means I'm no longer here. You are in grave danger. Murasaki-san will be in prison. They won't tell you why. Don't trust her. The twill has been torn, and its waves will suffocate and drown you. Murasaki family has all been slaughtered but for Murasaki-san and somebody else. That somebody is now actively hunting you. For this warning, I wish for one favor. Destroy my servers when you get the chance, or chaos will ensue. If you don't, you will disappear. And you are next in line.
Oh wow.
So, some of the
Sounds like a
stuff...
hit note.
Some of the stuff I can tell you. So we as in the clan, we are called the Murasaki clan or the Murasaki family. But the Murasaki family that this message is talking about is not us. It's a former like ex-Murasaki family of our like leader in character, who like has been slaughtered. They were killed. And basically it's saying that someone is now actively hunting us as the new Murasaki clan, but no one knew why, no one knew who was hunting us, and so on. Meanwhile, our members were seeing this character constantly following them. And that was the one who actually, by now, we revealed that is the one who killed the Murasaki family, who used to be basically our leader's like ex-subordinate, basically like a second in command of them. And now actively schemed against us. Now, there's a part that says, "Don't trust her. The twill has been torn and its waves will suffocate and drown you." That isn't referencing to any of the, like, that isn't referencing to our leader, that isn't referencing to anything else. It's referencing to one of our characters that we have within the clan, and that is the thing nobody like figured out yet. It's a whole reference to that character's name, but no one knows it yet.
Oh wow.
And it's someone that we basically have like as an NPC in the clan for pretty much 3 years now.
Oh wow. That's it. That's actually quite interesting. When you guys do your newsletters, do you usually incorporate story elements like that, like this foreboding warning?
It was type of a one-time thing, though if we do it sometime else again, I wouldn't be against. Like, it's in our newsletter, we usually like tell people what happened, right? We do a whole recap of the season, anything else, any other like articles. Ginger sometimes writes articles about the actual Japanese Yakuza and so on, like actual IRL stuff. But like that so far was a one-time thing, but I do believe that if we do need to do it again, like we would.
Okay. So when you guys, it sounds like you guys are very incorporative with your stories, with all the different elements other than just during an event. How long did it take you guys to build that kind of structure of storytelling, and what other ways do you guys do storytelling?
So, not only that we do VRChat roleplay and like roleplay events like that, we as well do text RPs. So we have a whole channel go for only people basically wanting to do a text RP instead. So you know the generic text RP asterisks, kisses you asterisks type of shit. Yeah, that's we do that, right? And we tell stories through the text RPs as well, where basically right after our whole season, like the new campaign started, the gang war. In the text RP, some of us, like, it's a voluntary thing. It's not a thing that normally like happens all the time, but we started a text RP of, for example, what happened on a different place at the same time or so. So where, for example, other people could have been or something. Someone who didn't attend the event itself, so they could still get incorporated into like the story, at least for the beginning. So what I did was we did the event, right? And there was the wall, like our clan going with the bomb to basically bomb down the wall building. So I did a text RP that happened pretty much after the bombing, where me in character and two of my other people went into one of our like businesses that we in character own that got raided as well. Basically every single business we own got raided, right? So one of our businesses that got raided, we went there and we're going through a combat scenario where I, as the DM, pretty much tell them like, hey, there's 3 enemies. well, when you want to do something, roll a d20, and depending on that, I'm gonna like, continue the story. So basically, one of my goons got killed there, and so on. And there's pretty much, I can tell you one, let's say a civilian was involved there. So I said that the civilian was injured, was actually critically injured, was stabbed in their lung. So their lung was filling up with blood and everything. And I told that person who was dealing with that, roll a d20 depending on that, how is it gonna go with the treatment. Right, so we even tell the stories through text RPs like this. But other than that, most of the stuff is actually happening within VRChat. If it's not formal, like main event, it could be a family event going on, or there are solo RPs as well that someone do.
Okay. So I have a bit of a layered question now. With the text RP and the VR chat RP, do both stories kind of cross over at all? Are they both pertinent to each other? Or are they both like, this is text and this is VR? And then the next is, what is the history? Actually, I'll start with that first before I go too far into the next one.
Okay. So if I'm getting your question right, they're like whatever happens in text RP is what you can use in the VR RP as well. It's not like its own, like it's separate things. It's actually happening like together as if. But someone basically, let's say someone is not home, right? So they want to do a text RP instead in like cannot go to the VRChat RP, so they want to do a text RP, and it's afterwards something they can use that actually happened, in their VRChat RP as their character progression. If I'm getting that question right.
Yeah. Were there any moments that which anything in text RP found their way into a campaign story or a family story?
Ooh, I am unsure. That I don't know. Well, whatever happened in the text RP I just told you about, like the one I did, is like kind of, well, it's canon normally. Like it's what people can use actually for their stuff. Like that wall building that we were in kind of burned down, right? So meaning that one certain character lost their office because of that. So it's a thing now going on that character doesn't have an office anymore, doesn't have a place to work at. So it's like I don't know. That's kind of it. Like I cannot imagine, or more like cannot remember whether someone actually did something more than stuff like this. We used to do actual campaign text RPs, but that was a lot to manage.
Yeah.
Because imagine you got 20 people in a text RP. Yeah, that's kind of hard.
I can only
imagine. We did like a little bit of a thing where like a family event, instead of it being a VRChat event, it was happening in a text RP, and it was actually like a whole thing. But yeah, that's like proper, like as if campaign text RPs are harder to manage, so that doesn't really happen.
Okay. Now the next question is in regards to your family within Kocho No Yakuza. What are they and how did they come into their position? Like, what is their backstory?
So my family, the Aomi family, actually came to be a tiny bit like after experimenting. So we were experimenting, implementing that system, because that isn't something that we done since the beginning. We developed it throughout, and while there were 5 main families, if I remember correctly, one of them was actually a Murasake family, so-called, which was led by Ginger, but I was his like co-leader in that family. But then we said, like, it was kind of like Ginger experimenting because it was a new thing, and then pretty much we said like, hey, this is going well, I'm gonna take over. I'm gonna like rename it to Aomi family, and yeah, that's kind of how it became. Now, because of the people that I have in the family, because you can choose what family you want to go to, right? You don't you if it's not like if you're a fighter person, you gotta go into this family. No, you choose. You literally like have the choice. And a lot of people who I have in my family are kinda as if pacifists. It's a lot of people who don't necessarily enjoy actively fighting, right? Because when you fight in VRRP, you gotta act it out. When you wanna punch someone, you gotta punch it, right? And so on. And me, myself, I'm not a fighter person either. I am more someone who's the commanding person, right? Who tells someone what to do and they will do it. And a lot of my people are actually like medics in RP. They're like as if have social skills, so they can be like spies and whatsoever. They're a lot like stealthy and so on. And we kind of just established ourselves through the wall, like gathering information, because one of our fixers, who was actually that like information basically like seller to us, he died. He's the one who as if put out the warning in the newsletter. He died, so now I in character am as if replacing him. So my family is a lot about pretty much like getting the information and everything. And my people, when how I do it is that even if you're a shate in the wall community, you start from the lower rank in the family and you build yourself within the family as well. And so I have my own second in command with a lower staff of the Kocho No Yakuza overall. And then I have my own lieutenants who are as if my position in the clan, but they're in my family. And they don't have to be staff people at all. And those people are as if higher-ups within my family as well. And they establish themselves pretty much throughout, like helping me with the family, helping host events for the family, or being active in general. Right, so it kind of depends on you whether you want to be active in the family as well or like the community only. But pretty much when you join Kocho and you go to the Kobun rank, getting into a family gains you more options how to progress your character, right? So it's pretty much about that, like people joining and you're just like providing to them, they're providing to you, helping you out. I don't really know how to properly explain it, I guess. Like
Fair enough. So, what are some key family story elements that have happened over the course of the life of the family?
My family is currently going through like a mini as if campaign that we have on our own that is not tied to the main story at all, at least not yet. But we are as if influencing politicians, made up politicians. Just like we have a fixer, gave us a job. He wants to become a politician. He wants to go into like a politician ranks, right? And whatever. And we as a family go and blackmail and whatever BS like that, pretty much to help our fixer get what he wants right now. So it's quite literally just like influencing the public, the politics of and so on. Again, everything is made up. Please don't take me as a war criminal. I don't know if I'm answering your questions at all.
No, you've answered fine. I was just kind of curious. So, what were some like important points within your family's story? Because from it sounds you have main story, family story. I was just curious. What were some like fun or important moments along the way within your family, not necessarily the overarching?
I didn't.
Hello, we're here to interrupt the most interesting thing being said. in our current video to ask you a favor, which is, would you mind joining us at any of the socials we have, such as Discord? We're hanging out all the time playing video games, so you can catch us there very frequently. We have I run Twitter for us, which is LionTurtle21 on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. It'll always be Twitter. But either way, there's that. We also have a Patreon, which we actually have a whole other show for our Patreon members, which are Aliquum and the newest addition to the bunch, Future Oracle,
Niche, and Forbidden Zero. Good friends of ours.
Yeah, thank you very much, you guys, for joining. It means a whole lot that you're
Yes.
there. And hope to see you there as well. We have a whole other show. There are some free ones we have released as well for the audio for you to listen to and to see what it's like. It's like a whole other show, so thank you. With that said, please enjoy the rest of your podcast on YouTube.
Fun points within my family, honestly. I cannot really think of anything apart from, for example, Mima blowing up a goddamn shop out of nowhere and losing a pinky over it. Or like, I don't know. I cannot think of anything as of right now from my own family. And I don't like follow any of the other families as well to answer that from like their perspective.
I guess that just means we'll have to have the various families on as to have their own shows to tell us those stories. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I mean, I could possibly set you up with Ginger himself. That's fine.
That'd be fun. I'd love to have a chat with Ginger. Oh.
It actually would be better to have Ginger and her. One, her, then Ginger, then both of them, and see how they interact together. That would be interesting.
Would also fun to have an entire family council
my luck,
too.
I'd open my big. Yeah, my luck, I'd open up and have a fucking hit warrant stuck out on my neck for being a big mouth.
If any of you in Kocho can find Raptor, I'll reward you.
Thanks, fucking what?
Hey,
Oh, God,
I
now
already
you just
told
put a hit
the,
out on
I
me.
told the LPD
fuck.
Helldivers. No, I told the Helldivers that the very same thing. I have yet to see anyone show up.
I mean, technically speaking, at one point, what I did, you probably don't know about it from before, but Emma Torch. You guys know Emma Torch, right?
Yes.
She was doing a funny thing of going around communities and as if like disrespecting them, not like disrespect, but she, as if in character type of stuff. She has this spray can, right? And she went into our worlds and she was spraying over our worlds and sitting in our leader's chair, that type of disrespect, like fun teasing, right? And she was posting on it. She was posting it on Twitter and everything, or X, whatever you want to call it. And I think back then it was still Twitter. And what happened was that I scheduled an event with Emma, and she was as if spraying in that event. She was spraying in a city. And I gave our people the job to hunt Emma down. So Emma was hunted down. She got her hands broken so she doesn't spray on our walls anymore and got sent to Uganda. So I think we can set something up there, Raptor.
Thank God I didn't plan on what I wanted to do. I'd just go around pissing in every corner. Or every plant and just watch them die. Then they just cut everything off and I'd be dead. No big deal.
Well, it's just a fun thing, I say, if you can find Raptor and show proof within the Discord or something like that. It'd be funny, just a funny little thing, a funny little hit job to find Raptor, that's all.
I think we're onto something here.
Sorry, Josetti, I'm calling you guys
against
out
the
too.
old man.
You have yet to show up to find and hunt down Raptor.
Oh God. Now I gotta keep this in mind. So be going. And I'm a person that's good at hiding and I'm
Although-
good at running.
Although only one group has arrested Raptor, but that wasn't because of a challenge. It was just because it was funny in the pjkt, and that was the LPD. That was fun.
Hmm.
Yeah, he got me in trouble because I was carrying catnip.
How was a fox carrying catnip?
I don't know. I just said I was carrying catnip, and he turned around, changed it, and said it's not catnip. He told me it wasn't catnip. He told me it was catnip, but it
I would
wasn't
do
catnip.
nothing
it was
of the
actually
sort.
Right.
You imagined everything.
Mm-hmm.
everything. Yeah,
Of course.
Bullshit. Oh, sorry, I had a cough there. Sorry.
So I have a question for you as well. What are some of your favorite moments from Kocho No Yakuza that you've experienced over the years?
Over the years, um, it's probably like, if I don't count events that I already mentioned, our anniversaries. You guys as well got invited to it, but well, neither of you showed up, haha. But the anniversary is big event hosted by me and a co-host. Pretty much like we have like an hour social RP and we're just having fun, right? We have live performances like walk-ins, like someone wants to sing, dancing, whatever. A lot of singers going on, a lot of fun. Whoever is over the legal age, is drinking as well, and good stuff. Then we have, for the past 2 years, we've had an after party with Novid as well. So those are good, like my good memories. The third anniversary was an absolute blast. Sad you guys missed it.
I'm
But
sorry. I was working. I wanted to go, but I couldn't.
yeah, you better be sorry. You better be you better be sorry.
I am
You
sorry.
better be. Like, yeah, you better be.
You don't need to threaten something I already gave willingly.
Mhm. Even Novid was
I
there,
have-
Lion. Even Novid was there. Can you believe that?
Don't know what my excuse was. I think I was doing. I have no
I
idea
even
what
told
was
you about
doing
it.
at that time. I know, and I didn't show up.
Yeah, you
My ass
didn't.
is more on the. My ass is more on the hit list.
Yep. But like these like anniversary events, really good memories. Whenever we host like birthday parties for someone, like Ginger's birthday party, you know, our winter galas as well that we have sometimes. Like it's these like bigger events that are more out of character, that are like really good memories. For the first year in 3 years of Kocho, on the anniversary, for the first time, I cried.
Oh.
I never cried before on, like, when I got promoted to Shataigashira, I never cried whenever, like, any other thing. At both of those other anniversaries, I wasn't crying. But this year, I got so emotional. I don't even know how it happened. But basically, I do like those big videos, like a whole reel of like memories, picture slideshows, and like people talking like, congrats anniversary, 3 years anniversary. Kocho is the best type of videos, like people basically talking about that. And while I was watching afterwards that video, even though I was the one editing it, I was the one completely like making everything, I cried like a baby watching that on the anniversary. So like it's kind of like these things kind of that just, Kocho has been my home for 3 years now. Oh my god, my knee. Cannot really like, I cannot imagine what I would be doing right now. I really don't know. Like if it wasn't for Kocho, like Kocho has been pretty much like my whole thing going on for 3 years. Haven't been doing anything else. And I every single day I spend my time in like the Discord of Kocho and everything. I hang out only with the Kocho people. Right, so it was just that big hit of realization, I suppose, after those 3 years. Now, I wanted to say one more thing, but now I forgot.
That's okay.
Yuki memory be like.
So, question for you as well: what keeps you going for 3 years? What keeps you like pushing for the community and working so hard?
Raptor, you're just never gonna ask me anything. He just steals all the spotlight.
I'm
What?
scared. I'm scared.
Okay,
And
so
you know something? I'm not scared of women very often, but she's got my fucking goat really big time. The only one other person was my wife. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so what keeps me going? I don't know. There's been a lot of times when I've been really contemplating why am I there? What am I doing? Why am I the position I am? And so on. I have a lot of self-doubt, right? And a lot of times I've been thinking that I shouldn't be where I am. And I still think it up to this day. But it's you know, when you get when you have, for example, like a big event like pjkt, the Bossrush, and you see the amount of people afterwards just going to you saying how amazing it was, the amount of people joining the community because of stuff like this, that's exactly it. That's literally exactly it. When you see that people actually get interested after you've done something, like I've been going to like hanging out with different communities as well, and just because of like them asking me like what is Kocho and me telling them, they're joining as well, right? This year we had such a big surge of like new people, and it's exactly that. It's I won't lie to you, it's kind of depressing when the whole time you see the same people all the time. When you're supposed to be like a community that's kind of growing and you want to get new people and you constantly see the same faces, it gets kind of stale, and to a certain degree, at least for me, I cannot speak on anyone else's behalf, it got really depressing for me. And after pjkt 2023, we didn't have that many new faces at all. But after pjkt 2024, we had so many new people interested in us that it's exactly that feeling when you feel proud, like you did something right. And you get this feeling even after like you do these big campaign events, and when people like those events, it's exactly like those moments where I'm just like proud of the community. And that's exactly what kind of keeps me going. As much as I have all the self-doubt, bad feelings, depressions, whatever, it's these moments when people enjoy what we're doing.
I can very much understand why that would be a driving and motivator for you. The last couple of questions before we wrap up. Raptor, would you like to ask these two questions I ask everybody, or do you want me to?
All right, sure. Why not? First question for you. When you roll out your toothpaste, do you roll it from the end or squeeze it from the middle?
That's not the questions. That's a good
Oh,
one.
sorry.
Actually,
My bad.
wait.
My
Let
bad.
me
Sorry,
answer. Let me
wrong
answer.
question.
Raptor, no, I want to answer.
Oh, she wants to answer this. Okay, go right ahead.
I depending on how filled the toothpaste tube is. If it's filled like still full, then from the middle I don't care. If it's like half, then I go from the bottom.
Okay. Now I'll ask the right questions. Okay. And everything else. There's actually, with that question, if you ask that question to somebody, actually there's actually a meaning behind it, if you know what it means. I had it done to me by my sister. It's a psych question. What amounts to is the people that squeeze it from the middle don't care. The people that roll it up have the time and patience and care about their surroundings. That's what I meant. All right. Question is how did you get the avatar that you're in? Why did you pick the avatar that you're in? I think I got that right.
Yep, that in the
I got
name.
that right, boss?
You wanna be here
Yeah,
for
well, that's
another hour?
Yes.
So avatars, I haven't really spoken about it yet. I'm an avatar creator as well, and I do commissions as well, right? And this avatar, it's my own thing. It literally even has like a Kocho pin of right here. It's my family pin as well. But ever since I was on VRChat, I've always had the identity of like a blue-haired girl. Always had that because I love blue. Now, when I first got my first avatar on VRChat, when I bought one on Booth and edited it to my own liking, it was blue pink. It was at first I wanted it completely blue with the hair, but then I went like, I like a bit of contrast in between like that, right? It was kind of just stale for me. So I was going through like a hue shift slider and I went like blue pink looks good. So I did that. And that has been my identity ever since. Blue pink hair. Then after this certain asset of the wolf ears and tail got released, it became my thing as well, where pretty much the wolf ears and tail started becoming my thing, and now I'm a wolf girl like that, I guess. And it was I started learning avatars actually because of roleplay communities. So because of Kocho, I started to learn how to do avatars properly. And throughout the time, I started with a really basic type of an avatar to now having 200 avatars uploaded for myself. And I'm not talking about the amount of commissions I have done. Like just to showcase something, Noved.
Yeah.
Noved's avatar is made by me.
Oh.
And that was a commission back then because I absolutely hated the fuck out of his previous avatar. So basically he
Time to
like
give him
told
shit.
me
I'm gonna give him crap now. You just let something out of the bag. Wow. Oh wow, I can't wait.
Yeah, I absolutely hated the fuck out of his avatar, and I kind of convinced him, or like, we talked about the fact that I'm an avatar creator, and we were talking about how to make his avatar. I convinced him into looking like he does look now.
Oh.
And I believe I did a good job, honestly. And now I'm pretty much as if teaching him the Unity as well, so he can use that avatar and upgrade it on his own. So new outfits, for example, or something like that. But yeah, my identity has been this for 3 years now. 3 years. And
oh wow.
over time, as avatars are getting uploaded and updated, and new avatars are constantly getting released, pretty much it's the idea has still been the same, just different face, I suppose. So what this avatar even is a body swap. It's a, what do you call it, kit bash of a body of a Shinra model on Booth with a face of Okame Ryuka on Booth. So it's 2 avatars put together.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, I see. Cool.
While still being
my
my identity, pretty much. Sorry.
Okay. Now the second question that's supposed to be Lion's question, I'm going to ask the question, and you're going to get confused. Yeah, you just did it. You just turned your head and looked at him. Okay, how'd you come up with your name for VR?
Ah, this one. I forgot that you guys asked that. Yuki is a name I have for more than 10 years now. It's a name that came out of my roleplay OC from 2012, where I am a huge fan of the anime called Fairy Tail.
Mm.
And I used to pretty much like how I started overall in roleplay scene out of VRChat like those 15 years ago by now. Is the fact that I was drawing. I was a digital artist
Mm.
of pretty much like drawing my own OCs in the style of an anime. Back then, what we were doing, quite unethical, but we took screenshots from the anime and redraw a certain character in our own OC. And it was called editing back then. We had a whole community in my country and everything, a lot of friends and so on. And I had this OC called Tsubaki Euclif. She was a canon, canon, non-canon. Well, my OC was a sister of an actual character in the anime called Sting Euclif. And back then, I still have up to this day a DeviantArt by that name. And when I was looking at the DeviantArt name, Tsubaki Euclif, as it was together, I saw the EU from the last name and the key from the first name, and I switched it like that to be Yuki, and I just switched an I for a Y.
Mm.
And
Okay.
it's actually, it was meant to be pronounced as Euky in Czech. In my own language, it's pronounced as Euky. But then I went like, English, right? You know how the EU in Europe, it's pronounced U? So that's why Yuki. And now when I went even further, Yuki in Japanese means snow. And I had a nickname back then from a certain person that was Snowflake. My nickname from a certain person was Snowflake, right? So it all went together like this pretty much. And now for 12 years? 12 years it's my nickname now, Yuki.
Oh wow. Thanks for sharing that. That was actually really cool. Thank you.
No, oh, yeah, that's great.
Glad you find it cool. I don't know. I feel very very self fucking egoistical and everything today, talking about myself all the time.
Well, to be fair, when we have someone like you on, the point is to hear your story. What is it you do?
Yes.
Who are you? What are your tales? We want to know these things. What makes you you? For example, we met you over at pjkt, and now, and not just those little memories we've had where Raptor got to fight a giant Roomba, we get to know the person in the group behind the person we met. So we appreciate it.
Yeah.
You mean I didn't fight it? I got sucked up in it.
Yeah, you did. I remember it very vividly. I believe we have it on a clip somewhere as well. Oh, the video of it is actually soon to be uploaded on pjkt YouTube, I believe. The whole highlight of it.
If you still have that
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
more.
for the Raptor fighting and getting sucked up in the Roomba, could you send it this way? You could use it as your intro.
Huh, interesting. Yeah, I can find it. I hope I
Gotta
can
find my way
it.
back to the stupid thing. I got stuck.
I mean, you want to be sucked up again? I still have the avatar.
Wouldn't be the first time he's been
It's
sucked
okay.
up somewhere.
Jackass. Haha, funny. Too early in the morning for this. I need more coffee.
With that said,
I need my monster, honestly.
thank you very much, Yuki, for joining us. It's been an absolute honor getting
Yes.
to meet you and hear all of your tales and everything about Kocho No Yakuza. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Yes, very much so. Appreciate it again, seeing you again.
I mean, yeah, listen, a lot of times I'm on VRChat because of events, but if I'm on VRChat sometimes and you're on, I have no issue. Like, if you invite me or something, you can absolutely do that. But
You can tag us. You can tag us anytime wherever we're at because it's open to everybody. We
Hell yeah.
if we're not in an interview or anything like this, and you want to tag in everything else like this, and it comes up, or it comes, you can venture. I'll click on it. You don't know what you're going to get
Absolutely.
into. So all I can tell you is watch because you might come in where I'm being unhinged, and look out, because you're going to stand back going, holy shit. And second thing, I'm just curious, why in the hell does the plant over there look like fucking potato chips? Just noticed that. Well, okay.
Wait, actually, oh, the plants have wrong texture. That's something I gotta fix.
It looks like potato chip. It looks like Pringles potato chips.
Oh no.
Just looked at it from-
Oh no.
My
Oh,
bad.
no.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
The one pain of being a world creator as well. But yeah,
Mhm.
it's been my pleasure. I thank you very much for having me today.
No problem. And
Yeah.
where can the audience find you if they wish to reach out and find you or Kocho?
Oh my god. All right. So, me personally, I am on Twitter/X as Yukini, and a lot of times, actually, my social handles are Yukini, which is Yuki as my name, but double NIE at the end of it. And that's as well my Twitch, and I believe even a YouTube and whatever. I'm Yuki on Discord, but for Kocho, we have our own VRChat Legends page by the same name, Kocho No Yakuza. And if you want to join the Discord, then that's discord.gg/Kocho Yakuza. There's no in the Kocho No Yakuza, so Kocho Yakuza only.
Alrighty. And all of those things will be right down below in the Hoobly What's It for you to find. All those fun links. Well, all the other places like pjkt, Futureline. Don't forget pjkt Discord link. I'm probably gonna forget.
Yeah,
Poor bastard.
don't forget pjkt. I'm a team lead at pjkt. If I don't see you there, then I'm gonna send my Yakuza people at you,
You know,
like Raptor.
I'm still waiting for the day where all these challenges of RP groups to find Raptor. We'll be in a movie world, and then all of a sudden, like 80 people will show up all looking for Raptor. It'll be the funniest fucking thing. There's different groups warring for Raptor.
I feel like I'm gonna be a fucking
Yeah.
statue. We gotta have the little bastard on our desk. He's great for holding pencils.
You're gonna be a trophy Raptor.
And a
That's
piece
all
of
you
paper.
are. They're fighting for the
I'm
rights
gonna
to
be
the trophy.
stuffed. I'm gonna be fucking stuffed. Is what it's gonna be. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you got it. Then I'm gonna do. Oh boy. Here we
I
go.
wonder if we
Raptor.
can make taxidermy
No,
versions of
no,
you.
I
you're
have a
not
knife
beating
right
me with the
here.
fucking
I have a
frying pan.
knife right here.
No.
Come here. Come
No.
here. Hey, little
No.
Raptor.
No, I'm not
here.
gonna be sushi on your fucking plate. No.
I mean, I will have. I listen. We're in an orphanage, right? I will at least have something to feed the
I'll
kids.
be an orphanage. I'll be a eunuch too, but after you get done with me. But hey, what the hell?
Well, with that said, before we head it off to Raptor to close this off, we're gonna ask you the audience question. What's your favorite chip? Mine's the plant over there. Raptor, you know the thing.
Oh, folks, no matter what, if you get,
Oop.
you gonna make up sure the camera's at me or not, sir, or do
I
I
don't
have
know.
to talk to you? No matter what you do, no God. No matter what you do, folks, I am so screwed up and so unfounded and everything else. But you can find me. Give it hell, because I bet you 10-1 I'll be mounted on your shelf just like everybody else. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Here's a hint. Look in plants and skulls.